which is blood, which is the life, is to just burn it till it's not there anymore, and you couldn't eat it anyway. The only way to get those caliparies to open up and release that, the rest of that blood, is to what the Bible, the scriptures refer to as seething, soddening, boiling. Okay? And I know most of y'all are not going to want to hear this. I get that. I understand. But what if what I'm telling you is a very serious issue? What if it is? Prove me, like I've told you before, like Dawood says. Don't trust a man until you prove that man. Go do your research and prove me wrong that the only way to release the myoglobin and hemoglobin, which is blood, which is life, is to either boil it, sodden it, or seethe it. And it opens up, it relaxes. I'm sure you've heard of that term. The meat relaxes, and those open up, and they come out into the water. Okay? I'm going to give you some verses that I looked up. There's a lot of verses concerning eating the blood with the flesh, which I'm sure you well know. Genesis 9:4. Only you shall not eat flesh with its life. That is, its blood. When I first read that, I thought, well, I don't eat meat and drink a glass of blood with it. Come on. Is Yahuwah, the Most High, the author of confusion, does he not know what he's talking about? Would he not said, if he meant drinking blood, would he not have said, only you shall not eat the flesh and drink the blood? No. He said, you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is its blood. Leviticus 3:17. It is a perpetual, never goes away, perpetual statute throughout your generations. You shall not eat any fat or any blood. Leviticus 17, verse 10 through 12. He will set his face against you and cut you off from your people if you eat the flesh with the blood. Several verses throughout those books says you are to pour the blood out like water onto the ground. If you boil the meat thoroughly, and I mean thoroughly, a couple times, you have to do this to get it all out. To get the life which the Most High said, do not consume like a vampire, you have to boil it thoroughly. And why do I say thoroughly? Because I've done it. And boil it one time, put it back in some water, boil it again, see how much blood comes out of it. And you'll see that what I'm saying is the truth. We know that in Acts, for y'all people that only will reference the New Testament, in Acts, they said to abstain from blood. That was one of the things. They didn't want to overburden the Gentiles with the Torah and the instructions. So they just gave them a few base lessons. Don't eat anything sacrificed to idols or that have been strangled, and abstain from blood. Zechariah chapter 9 verse 7. And I will remove their blood from their mouth. This is talking future reference. And the detestable things from between their teeth. There's a scripture somewhere that's going to back up what I'm saying right now. And y'all, I know, y'all got sensitive ears. And your own understanding is paramount. I get it. I do. But I don't do it. No. I'm all about learning, growing, and moving on from the ways of the world, from the ways that I grew up in, from the things that have burdened me and weighed me down, and have took me down a path of destitute and death. I don't want to be on that path anymore. So whatever I can do, which is why I laid out prostrate that day and asked him if there was something, and trust me, I hadn't even thought about, I thought the day before that I was keeping the Shabbat, following Torah. I didn't even think the day before that, on account of my own pride and leaning on my own understanding, I thought there wasn't anything that I was doing that was offensive. But for some reason, I got up that day and asked him if there was. And lo and behold, he showed me. Because he always comes through when you ask him. So if you don't believe what I'm talking about, ask him. I'm going to tell you. Let's pretend you're Yahuwah, the Most High, our wonderful Creator. If you want to call him God, if that's what you want to call him, go ahead. Let's pretend you're him. And you make earth. And you make man. And you make animals. And you put your life, breathe your life into their nostrils, and the blood in these creatures is an extension of you. And you leave man with these animals. And you say, just like he said in Scripture, you say, if any man if any man slaughters a cow, any animal, he is to bring it up here to the altar and do accordingly, just like he said. Let's pretend you're him, and you tell man this, and man says, when he's not in front of you, where you're looking at him, he says, I don't care what he says. I'm going to eat animal all I want and cook it the way I want. I don't care. And they're your animals, okay? And you specifically said, because they're yours, and the life and the blood therein is yours, you said if you're going to do it, this is how you got to do it. And they just totally disregard what you said and said, screw you, and flipped you the bird. Are you going to be very happy with them? No. That's why in Zechariah 9:7 it says, I will remove their blood from their mouth and the detestable things they eat from between their teeth. Okay? Just because you're not drinking a glass of blood like Count Dracula doesn't mean you're not consuming it. And when Yahuwah, the Most High, said do not consume it, he meant do not consume it. He didn't mean consume it only in little bits, trace amounts, and lean on your own understanding to know if you're consuming it or not. Don't worry about what I said, even though I made animals and all these things. No, you know best. Go ahead. Wrong. No. This is what he said. Do not eat the flesh with its life. That is its blood. Okay? So if you're going to eat meat, you have to boil it, seethe it, sodden it, which seethe and sodden just means put it in a pot with water and put it in an oven till it boils. And you'll see why he said pour it out onto the earth like water, because it's like water. It's not blood. It don't look like regular blood. It comes up like fat, grease, and stuff, which if you are taking what I'm saying serious and you start looking into this, you'll find that it disgusts you, and you'll probably be on the same path I'm on. Now, to think about eating meat like that, and fish, like I said, I've only ate it about 4 times. Even that, I don't find too appealing anymore. Have you ever gagged on an apple when you're eating an apple? or a mango or a peach. If it didn't have a worm or something in it, just a nice fresh piece of fruit. No, I bet you haven't. I haven't either. But there's been several times that I've been eating a chicken leg or a sirloin and had the thought of just, I gagged. And why is it that we can't eat meat without seasoning it, putting salt and pepper and all these herbs and spices, plants, natural food that the Most High gave us on it? Try eating it without it one time. See what happens. Now, I know this is a message that y'all aren't going to want to hear. And I'm truly sorry. No, actually I'm not. Because this is the truth. A lot of truths that we have yet to come to are hard to hear. We don't want to hear it. It's like an addict. When you tell an addict that he needs to quit doing the drug of his choice, the drug that he's doing, that's taken him into a gutter, taking him to a gutter on the road to destruction, he don't want to hear that. Think about that, my mishpachah. Are you doing something that's offensive to the Most High? Is this message just ruffling your feathers and twisting your panties all up in a bunch? If so, you may need to consider this and go to the don't listen to me. Go to the Most High, seek his counsel, and cry out to him and say, this lunatic Big D, de facto, is what he's saying true? Ask him. And when he tells you the same thing he told me, I do expect a I told you so. I don't need you to thank me. Thank the Most High. But I'll take a I told you so. Because I'm not making this for my health. I'm definitely not making it for profit. No. I'm making this because I truly care. I want to love you guys. And I might put this out and get one view. Be totally ashamed and mocked. You think I care about that? Or do you honestly, sincerely think that I truly care? And I wouldn't put myself out here on a limb for ridicule and mockery unless I cared. I'm not insane. I know de facto's going nowhere. I know that. So, why am I doing this? I've pleaded with people. I've cast my pearls out, only to have them turn and try to devour me because of it. And here I am again, still doing it. I want to love y'all. I can't truly say I do, like most, or like I used to, because love is an action. It's a verb. It takes work. I'm working. I'm working at being a lover of my brother, my ox, my sisters, my mishpachah. I'm letting you know what the Most High told me. If we continue to eat his creatures and consume the blood, the life thereof, we are monsters. Going about our daily lives, consuming hamburger, whatever y'all consume, of live, once was live creatures, now they're dead, now you're consuming death. We are monsters. We're no better than these people that we know that consume things that should never be consumed. Detestable things. He's going to remove those from, not mine. I'm not going to say he's going to remove them from my teeth anymore. Well, he did, but not by force. He let me know, and I quit like that. Are you going to be some of the folks that he's going to reach in there by force and remove it from between your teeth. Like my aunt Trevor said earlier, love him now while you have the free will, when you're not absolutely forced to. Prove your love now when you don't have a finger or something else in your back. You want to love the Most High? Think about His Word. Think about why He would tell us this. Why He would say not to eat the flesh with its blood. He wasn't talking about eating a steak and drinking a glass of blood. He was talking about, and this is why He said that you are only to roast flesh one time a year, and that's at Passover, in the place He has called by His name, which is Jerusalem. We know Messiah did that. Therefore, that's why I do not eat meat, even on the Passover. I'm eating the food that He said was our meat. Fruits and vegetables. And don't believe this BS that you have to eat that for protein. I still lift weights, still work out, and I've gained muscle and have no problems with not eating meat. If someone tells you that, don't believe it for a second. Let them carry on down the broad and wide road. Get off of it, my Mishpachah. I love you. I'm trying. Shalom, shalom, Yisra'ėl. I pray y'all are well. Had to take you on the way back to the way back content when I was just a young buck and I was new to the game. And you know, I hope y'all can forgive my boisterous attitude I had then. That was one of the first videos I made, and I had just started to receive scoffing and mocking. I wasn't quite, nor still, I still am not used to people just rejecting anything the Most High shows me, and no one will even look into it. They just accuse me of lying, leading astray, and never showing me how that I am. And I just got into receiving that treatment, and I wasn't used to it. I was new to being just appalled at the disrespect of my Abba. And I literally was just, I was a baby and speaking the truth. And I still suck at this like I did then. I think I'm a little more polished in my bitching and ass chewing now. I've learned to have a little more fun with it. I was very uptight back then. I had a little fun here and there, but I was just, and I still am. I just hate when people, when I see, and that's all I see. I hate seeing the hatred for Abba, the everyone flipping Abba the bird. I just can't stand it. And back then I was just, I didn't know how to handle it, which I don't really now, but I've gotten a little better. And that's why I'm just, I don't sound like a complete asshole. Just, a little bit of an asshole, I sound like. But the reason I played that, that subject came up tonight, And it's something I've been wanting to talk to y'all about anyways. If you watch the last couple of videos, you probably, you can vouch for that I've been mentioning it, and it is something that is huge that not too many notice, or the ones that do notice are extreme vegans, which I am not. I've never one time said that you cannot eat meat, and I get accused of that all the time. I've never said not to eat meat. I've said not to eat blood, and I've said that a lot because it's the truth. Right here, Leviticus chapter 17, verse 10. And any man of the house of Yisra'eel, or of the strangers who sojourn among you, who eats any blood, I shall set my face against that being who eats blood, and shall cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the slaughter place to make atonement for your lives. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the life. Therefore I said to the children of Yisra'eel, no being among you eats blood, nor does any stranger who sojourns among you eat blood. For any man from the children of Yisra'eel, or from the strangers who sojourn among you, who hunts and catches any beast or bird, which is eaten, shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh, its blood is for its life. And I said to the children of Yisra'eel, do not eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of the flesh is its blood. Anyone eating it is cut off. And any being who eats a carcass, or what was torn by a beast, be he a native or a stranger, he shall wash his garments and bathe in water. That's just about eating roadkill. But look, this is a perpetual statute right here. Do not eat flesh with its life, its blood. Wrong scripture. My apologies. This is an everlasting law throughout your generations and all your dwellings. You do not eat any fat or any blood. Any blood. And this is the bottom line. This is the problem here. Even bigger than you consuming the blood. What the problem with this whole subject is, everyone leans on their own understanding when it comes to this. They do what's right in their own eyes. They don't lean on the understanding of Abba Yahuwah. They do not do what's right in his eyes, but their own, which is pride, thinking you're above the Most High to do what you want, and for what? So you can consume the flesh of an animal. Like I said in that video back there, it makes monsters out of people. I was a monster when it come to eating flesh. When you don't have to. The excuse is, well, we have to. What else? I just couldn't imagine. Yeah, you can't imagine. It doesn't matter what you can imagine, see? You can't imagine your life without some hamburger or some chicken, whatever. And chicken is unclean, foul, just like turkey.
And if you want to justify it and you want to tell the Most High what is clean and unclean, you know, I really pray that y'all don't behave that way and have that mindset, because you and I both know where someone's going to end up who has the mindset that they know more than the Most High, who leans on their own understanding, who is full of pride. Pride comes before destruction. This is something that you do not want to hear. I understand that you don't want to hear it. I understand that because I see it so much. I don't understand why more believers don't do like I did. As soon as I seen it, I stopped, because I fear the Most High, which is the beginning of wisdom. You know that. And if you don't even look into this and you just scoff at it without even looking into it, just because it's something that you don't understand, it makes it all the worse. Your pride has swelled so much up inside of you that it's coming out your ears. I bring this to you only because I love you. And if you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you, but it's the truth. I love y'all. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here saying this. Just like in that video, I was working. Well, prove that I haven't worked. I bet I've made 200 videos since that one. And every one has been because I love y'all. Although I know some like to think otherwise, but there's no evidence to back that theory up. I love y'all, Mr. K. Think about it. Peace out. D's out.